Hey guys. So, one of my New Year's resolution is to knock off all of these items I have on my list. These are all like video topics, and I noticed that the more videos I create, or every single video that I make, I end up having 2 to 3 additional new items to talk about. So the list keeps growing and growing and growing. So much to the extent that I really have to write them all down just so that one, clear my head, and two, I get to really talk about all the stuff that I find very pattern-like, and that the more you understand them, the easier it is for you to understand, like life's single formula, so you could improve your life, very well-rounded sense, So I wrote all of these stuff, and at the same time I get to practice writing backwards. See? Left-handed and backwards. And I can kind of show you what I meant. Let me turn the slide up a bit right here. So you can... When I said practice, contrast. Breaking out of your own comfort zone. Okay, this is a really cool one. It's writing backwards. And perhaps drawing and things like that. That's what I do. Do my best every single night before bed. This is what I would do. I'd write stuff like that with my left hand, and what I notice in language and the ways in which we write is that if you practiced 2 forms of writing, which is like the yin and the yang, when it comes to hand dexterity or penmanship, it's to work with lines right there, like jagged lines, angle. Straight up and down. I guess that's the good stuff to start on next. I'll do squares and shapes. It basically it's like you're practicing both curved motion and straight lines. That's the 2 single most important skills to have for developing penmanship. All right, or definitely writing with your left hand. Okay. So one of my New Year's resolution was to again knock all of these items. Knock them all out, and one of the items on here is this thing or concept we all know. We're well familiar with this. It's called the undersell and overdeliver concept. Growing up as a kid, I tend to fib a lot. It's a coping or a compensational mechanism. It's through a variety of experience. Maybe I didn't get the stuff I saw on TV, and I felt insecure over time, and I needed to compensate in a lot of different ways, and I ended up bullshitting a lot. My parents or siblings would always call me out on that. As a matter of fact, they called me bullshit boy, BSB, kind of like the Black Street Boys back in the day, so it's a little spin-off of that, and for a long time I had to live, with that moniker, and I didn't really like it, but they meant well, and I got a lot out of it. So the latter half of my life was all about being as honest as I can be, and really underselling and over-delivering on as many things as I can. I would always fear being late to somewhere, a place. I'd always fear not getting a job. I'd always fear people not understanding if I don't reach a certain standard. But by now I'm old enough so that I could, recreate the life that I want, create my own standards, and not really idolize anything, and just focusing more on developing myself. In every aspect of my life, business, your health, your relationship with your, parents, family, your spiritual relationship with yourself, etc. And so I learned a lot from being the guy who bullshitted every single thing. I learned why I did it. And being that I was an expert at it, I understood that the benefit was very short. It's very temporary, and it wasn't timeless or perpetual, and I needed and I wanted to lose that habit, and eventually I did. So underselling is one of the main things that I like to do in life, and over-delivering. So if I were to tell someone that I'm going to be at their house, I make sure I, make a extremely conservative estimate as to how long it'll take me to get there, or the time of my arrival, and definitely try to exceed that and be early. It's a practice of mine. I was never a square when it comes to that, but I kind of enjoy it these days. It's It's something new. It's breaking me out of my comfort zone. And I notice that the more I do that, the more I develop, like, patient energy, and it truly is applicable all across. I can use that patience for developing myself again in as many angles as I desire, right? Completely makes you well-rounded. So that's one of the subjects I really like to talk about, and it's helped me tremendously when you undersell and overdeliver. And it shows a universe that you're not fearing anything, but you are rather understanding and respectful of everything. Okay? Thank you for listening, and if that didn't sound like a lesson, it's truly a lesson to myself, and I wish that it would go and received the same as I felt it was received. Okay, thank you again for listening, guys. Appreciate it.